So aside from knowing Eminem as a rapper, we know him as a music producer. Looks like he's also going to be a TV producer as well. Reportedly, he's signed on to be an executive producer for a new TV show coming out called Narc. It is based on the 2002 movie, also called Narc. If you remember it, it was Jason Patric, Ray Liotta. They were undercover cops trying to find out who killed this one cop. And Joe Carnahan, who directed it, is also going to be involved with the TV show version. He's going to be executive producing with Eminem. It's supposed to be taking place in Detroit, which explains Eminem's involvement. Eminem's also supposed to be music supervisor for it. He's going to be providing brand new original songs to the TV show soundtrack, which I think will be great. It does not have a pickup yet. They're still in the early process. They have a pilot written. They're shopping it around. I'd love to see it be on a cable network like HBO, where they unedited can do like the really gritty crime drama very well, and also have Eminem's music be completely uncensored. I think that would be a good mix between them, and hopefully it'll come out soon. I can't wait to see it. So Talib Kweli has some very strong opinions this week in regards to racial dolezal. He does not agree or subscribe to this idea that a social, racial identity exists in her, because he says, you didn't grow up that way. You grew up a white girl. She got like her hair done and had like a fake tan. She's basically C. Thomas Howell from Soul Man.
Mom, Dad, I'm black. What?
Troy Ave has been all over the news this week in regards to hip-hop. He dropped a new album, Major Without a Deal, that a lot of people were critiquing, not so much for the quality or the content of the album, but for how poorly it did sales-wise. In the first week, it was reported that he only did 4.5 thousand in digital sales and 30 physical copies. So I think a lot of people were kind of waiting to see him fail, and so when the numbers showed up, everyone jumped on him. Memes were made, just making fun of him. Even Creation made fun of him. And Creation had a flop a few years ago, and she took that in stride and was like, oh, someone broke my record for biggest hip-hop flop, which Troy Ave takes himself very seriously, so he didn't care for any of this. He had to go explain himself on numerous radio shows and interviews saying no. Basically, how this went down was I dropped the album a little earlier than I should have, so it ended up being later in the week, so I didn't get as much sales in that first week. The physical copies were coming from a mom and pop store that was selling them early that they shouldn't have, but I'm fine, so I'm getting money from it. And he was saying that I'm an independent artist. It doesn't matter how many I sell, because I'm still making more money than everyone else, because I'm making 90% of like the profits, which could be the case. He could be making a ton of money off this, but the fact doesn't change that you did not sell that many. And he's trying to spin it, because even the new numbers came out for the second week, and he's up to like 7.7 thousand and 480 physical copies, which he was kind of touting as a big accomplishment. I'm sure he's making a lot of money off it again, but if you're touting yourself as being like, oh, you all said I flopped and I didn't, 480 physical copies still isn't good. 7.7 thousand isn't great. It's not like record-breaking numbers. I listened to the album just to sort of see like if it was super bad or anything like that. It actually was like pretty good. It wasn't bad at all. A couple songs on there were really good. He had a lot of talented people on there. Big names like 50, Cameron, Fabulous, and they all promoted on their social media, which is why I don't understand why it didn't sell as much. It's not a quality thing. I think it's more of the way he sort of presents himself, but I would check out a couple songs. Young King I like. Samples one of my favorite Raphael Sadiq songs. And there's a couple other ones. The Cameron song's pretty good, the first one, but check it out. It still doesn't change the fact that he flopped. You flopped. You're making money off it, that's great. Can't knock the hustle, but sales-wise, unless all of a sudden it comes out of nowhere, this is a flop. Skyzoo and Elzai are providing us with the song of the week this week. It's called Hands Folded Together.
Truly yours and not a string attached. String of rap, a loop involved, you better bring it back. Sing a rap is not at all what I be swinging at.
It is a great song. As soon as I heard it, my head was bobbing, like this is great. Pen work at its finest. It's very well written. The hook, it takes me back to the days where hooks weren't just catchphrases and super simple, repetitive. It was almost an extension of the raps, where the hook is almost a mini rap verse itself that kind of brings everything together. This song will not disappoint anyone, whether you're fans of them or casual listener to hip-hop in general. If you like rap music, I can't see how you won't like this song. Movie I reviewed this week was dope. It's a coming-of-age story. Takes place in Los Angeles about these three friends, main characters named Malcolm. Basically, the three friends are these nerdy, geeky high school kids in inner city Los Angeles. They are very obsessed with 90s hip-hop culture. They get invited to a drug dealer's birthday party. They go because Malcolm likes the girl. There's a shootout. Drugs get transferred into Malcolm's backpack, and it sets off this whole chain of events, and the friends have to figure out how to get rid of these drugs without getting themselves killed. It was a very enjoyable movie because it's a movie that's very based in hip-hop. It's got a lot of great references. The soundtrack's killer. It's got a lot of new stuff Pharrell did. It's got some new non-hip-hop tracks, and also just great throwbacks from the 90s that sort of just bring back that old nostalgia feeling. It's probably the most accurate title for a movie I have seen since I saw Kick-Ass a few years ago. Dope was definitely dope. I'm going to give it 2 ticket stubs out of 3. It was a lot of fun. It was fresh. It was very funny, and I think you'll enjoy it, especially since you're watching the show. Hip-hop movie news is something that will be right up your alley. And keep sending in those 15-second submissions, the freestyles and the movie scene reenactments. We love seeing them. We love sharing them with all of you. The submissions this week come from Char Char Figs and Severe the Poet. They're great. I'll see you guys next week. Hip-hop movie news.
We could have been a good couple. We could have had something special. But you one crazy ass bitch.
For anybody that's ever eyeing me, just knows from angel demons along with eyeing me. There's never eyeing we. Had to fight gravity to find leave. From a city that never sleeps, bad boys moving silently. Finally, I hate everything. Only the ray of the sun is blinding me. My pen game bleeds on paper undeniably.